Hey everyone, welcome back to English Vibes, the podcast where we dive into fascinating topics while keeping things fun and conversational. I'm Alex, your co-host, a 25-year-old tech enthusiast from London who loves hiking and trying out new coffee spots.
And I'm Mia, the other half of this dynamic duo. I'm 24, a freelance writer from New York, obsessed with yoga and binge-watching documentaries. Today, we're talking about something that affects all of us every single day, the psychology of habits. Alex, have you ever wondered why it's so easy to scroll through your phone for hours, but super hard to hit the gym consistently?
Oh, absolutely, Mia. Habits are like those invisible strings pulling us through life. In this episode, we'll break down what habits really are, how they form in our brains, why they're tough to shake off, and how good or bad ones impact our daily routines. We'll throw in some personal stories, a few laughs, and practical tips to help you build better habits. Sound good?
Sounds perfect. Let's jump right in. So, first things first, what exactly is a habit? From what I've read, a habit is basically an automatic behavior that we do without thinking much about it, like brushing your teeth in the morning or checking your email first thing at work.
Spot on, Mia. Psychologists say habits make up about 40% of our daily actions. They're these repeated actions that become second nature. But here's the cool part. They're not just random. There's a science behind them. Have you heard of the habit loop?
Yeah, I think I have. It's this idea from a guy named Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit. He talks about three parts: cue, routine, and reward. Can you explain that in simple terms for our listeners?
Sure thing. The cue is like a trigger that starts the habit. It could be something like feeling stressed. That's your cue. Then comes the routine, which is the actual behavior, say biting your nails or eating a snack. And finally, the reward is the good feeling you get afterward, like temporary relief from stress. Our brains love that reward, so they wire the whole loop in to make it automatic.
That makes so much sense. For example, my cue is waking up early. I see the sunlight, that's my trigger. My routine is making a cup of coffee, and the reward is that warm, energizing buzz that gets me ready for the day. But what if the habit is bad, like procrastinating on work?
Guilty is charged. Procrastination is a classic. The cue might be a daunting task. The routine is scrolling social media instead, and the reward is that short escape from anxiety. Over time, our brains get hooked on that loop.
Totally. Now let's talk about how habits form psychologically. I remember learning about neuroplasticity. That's a fancy word, but it just means our brains can change and adapt, like plastic. When we repeat a behavior, our brain creates stronger connections between neurons, making the habit stickier.
Exactly. Neuroplasticity is why kids pick up languages so easily. Their brains are super flexible. But even as adults, we can rewire things. It takes time, though. Studies show it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a new habit, depending on the person and the action.
Whoa, that's a wide range. Why do you think some habits form faster than others?
Good question. It depends on how consistent you are and how strong the reward is. If the reward feels amazing, like the endorphin rush from exercise, it might stick quicker. But if it's something boring, like flossing, it could take longer.
Speaking of which, why are habits so difficult to change? I mean, we all make New Year's resolutions, but by February, most of us are back to square one.
Tell me about it. The main reason is that habits live in the subconscious part of our brain, the basal ganglia, if we're getting technical. Once they're there, they run on autopilot, saving energy. Changing them means fighting against that wiring, which feels uncomfortable. Plus, stress or old cues can trigger them right back.
Yeah, like when I'm trying to eat healthier, but then I smell fresh pizza. Boom, old habit kicks in. Neuroplasticity works both ways, though. We can build new pathways by repeating better behaviors.
True. But let's not forget the role of willpower. It's like a muscle. It gets tired. That's why relying on sheer force often fails. Better to tweak the environment, like removing junk food from sight.
Smart tip. Now, how do good and bad habits affect our daily life? Good ones, like exercising regularly, can boost your energy, improve mood, and even make you more productive. I started a habit of journaling every night, and it's helped me sleep better and feel more grateful.
That's awesome, Mia. On the flip side, bad habits can drain you. Think about smoking. It might relieve stress short term, but long term, it harms health and wallet. Or endless screen time, which can lead to poor sleep and anxiety. Habits shape our lives bit by bit.
Absolutely. Let me share a personal story. Back in college, I had this bad habit of staying up late binge watching shows. The cue was feeling bored after studying, routine was Netflix, the reward was entertainment. But it wrecked my mornings. I'd be groggy and unproductive. It affected my grades and even my social life because I was always tired.
Ooh, that sounds rough. How did you break it?
I replaced it with reading a book instead. Same cue, boredom, but new routine, and the reward was still relaxation. Plus, I learned stuff. It took a couple of months, but now it's automatic.
Inspiring. I've got a story too. I used to skip breakfast, thinking it saved time. Cue, rushing out the door, routine, no food, reward, extra minutes in bed. But I'd crash by noon, hungry and irritable. It messed with my focus at work. Then I started prepping overnight oats the night before. Now it's a good habit that keeps me energized all morning.
Haha, overnight oats? You're such a health guru now, Alex. But seriously, stories like that show how habits compound over time. Small daily actions add up to big changes.
Right? Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. But it applies to habits too. A 1% improvement daily leads to huge growth.
Love that analogy. Okay, let's get into some psychology-backed tips for building good habits. First, start small. Don't say, I'll run a marathon tomorrow. Begin with a 5-minute walk.
Yes, that's the Tiny Habits Method by BJ Fogg. Make it so easy you can't say no. Like if you want to read more, start with 1 page a night.
Another tip, use habit stacking. Attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, after brushing your teeth, old habit, do 10 push-ups, new habit.
Brilliant. And don't forget tracking. Apps like Habitaka or just a simple journal can help. Seeing streaks motivates you.
For breaking bad habits, identify the cue and disrupt it. If late-night snacking is your vice, keep snacks out of the kitchen or replace with tea.
Or use the if-then planning. Like, if I feel stressed, then I'll take a deep breath instead of reaching for my phone.
Psychology calls that implementation intentions. It makes your brain prepare in advance.
Cool. Also, be kind to yourself. Slips happen, it's not failure, just data to adjust.
Totally. Surround yourself with supportive people. If your friends are gym goers, you're more likely to join.
Peer pressure for good. One more. Focus on the identity. Instead of I want to exercise, think I am a healthy person. It shifts your mindset.
That's from Atomic Habits by James Clear, right? Great book for anyone interested.
Yep. Now let's think about how habits play out in different areas. In relationships, good habits like active listening build trust, while bad ones like interrupting can cause arguments.
Or in work, habit of checking emails constantly disrupts focus, but deep work sessions boost productivity.
And health. Drinking water habitually prevents dehydration, but sugar addictions lead to energy crashes.
So true. I once knew a friend who broke his smoking habit by chewing gum whenever he craved a cigarette. The cue was stress, routine changed to gum, reward still oral fixation, but healthier.
Clever. Short story time. There was this experiment with rats. Yep, psychology loves rats. They got hooked on pressing a lever for food. Habit loop. Even when the food stopped, they kept pressing for a while. Shows how persistent habits are.
We're all just fancy rats sometimes, but humans have self-awareness to change.
Exactly. Let's wrap up the tips. Reward yourself positively, not with the bad habit. After a workout, treat to a smoothie, not ice cream.
And patience is key. Rome wasn't built in a day, nor are habits.
All right, Mia, time to summarize. Habits are automatic behaviors formed by the cue, routine, reward loop. Thanks to neuroplasticity, we can change them, though it's tough because they're wired deep. Good habits enhance life. Bad ones hinder it. Build by starting small, stacking, tracking, break by disrupting cues and planning ahead.
Perfect recap, Alex. To our listeners, remember, you're in control. Pick one small habit to work on this week, maybe drink more water or read before bed. You've got this. Small steps lead to big transformations.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for tuning in to English Vibes. If you enjoyed, share with a friend and drop us a review. See you next time.
Bye for now.